Hello everyone, welcome to my channel T-10 Finance, where I simplify personal finance topics under 10 minutes. In this video, we will be looking at 5 easy ways to increase your credit score, because we all know that credit score matters a lot whenever you want a loan of any sort. So let's get into it. First, always pay your credit card in full whenever it is due. The credit card gives you two options at the end of the billing cycle. The first is minimum payment, or second is paying the card in full. The minimum payment is usually a fixed dollar amount, which may be $25, or it might be a percent of the total outstanding amount on your card, which may be 1 or 2% of the total amount. You might think that making the minimum payment due will save you fees, and it's just a less burden on your wallet to pay less and then pay the remaining amount later. But it's the opposite. The additional amount on your card will incur charges, and credit card companies charge a huge interest rate, which may range anywhere from 15% to 30%, which is a huge amount. So I really request you to avoid paying these charges, pay your credit card in full whenever it is due, and help your credit score, and don't pay any additional fees because of that. Second, try to keep your credit utilization ratio as close to 30% as possible. What that means is, if you have a credit limit of $1,000, try to keep your credit utilization ratio at 30%, which means try to spend around $300 and not more than that. Suppose you want to book a flight for $700, so you can book it, but make sure that before the end of the billing cycle you pay the amount in full, so that the credit utilization is kept to a minimum and they don't see you as a risky investor. Because if you utilize your credit ratio at more than 30%, they see you as a risky person, because they think that you only rely on your credit cards for your expenses and you don't have enough income to cover your expenses. So it's a good practice to follow 30% credit utilization ratio. What I personally follow is, whenever I charge my credit card with some transactions, 1 or 2 days after the transaction, I just pay the transaction with my bank account. And because it's really good to see zero balance on your account, it's a sign of relief, and it's always good to be debt free. So I follow that practice, and it's a really good thing. So at the end of the billing cycle, you don't see a huge amount on your card, and it's just the small amounts which you pay regularly. Third, never miss a payment. So it's a very easy tip, but is often neglected and can have a huge impact on your credit score. So never miss a payment, because a single missed payment will stay on your credit report for 7 long years. Whenever someone wants to give you a loan, so they can see, oh, this person has missed a payment, and that might impact your capability of getting a loan, or they might charge you a little higher interest rate, because they might think that you have missed a payment and you can miss it again. So that's a really bad sign. One tip for this is, you can set up auto payments on your credit cards. They have two options. By the end of the billing cycle, you can make the minimum payment due or pay it in full. Personally, I like to make full, because just to be sure, in case you are enjoying a vacation or you just forgot that it's your end of the cycle and you have to make the payment, auto payments comes in handy, where it will pay for you, the money will be debited from your bank account, and it's easier, so you never miss a payment. Just make sure that you have enough balance in your bank account, otherwise the bank will charge you a fee, and also there will be outstanding amount on your credit card. Fourth, start your journey as soon as possible. The length of the credit history matters, and the longer your credit journey, more the lender can rely that you can make a payment and you are well versed with handling the loans. So if you are in your 20s, you are a student, or you just turned 18, it's best to have a credit card. There are many credit card offers which you can utilize, and there are many student credit cards for which you don't need a credit history. I definitely recommend you to get a credit card, follow these simple tips, and start building your credit journey, which will help you 5 or 10 years down the line when you want to get a loan for maybe car or home loan. It will really matter, and your lenders can give you the lowest interest rate possible, and your future self will thank you for this, because you might save tons of money which you would have paid if the interest rate was higher. 5. Request your credit card companies to increase your credit limit whenever you can. You can try this once every year, or whenever you have a raise in your salary. So why it matters is that suppose instead of a limit of $1,000 that we talked about, you increase your limit to $2,000. So now the 30% utilization ratio that we talked about will be increased. So for $2,000 limit, the 30% comes out to be $600, which is double to that of 300. And it's always better to have a higher limit so that you can spend more and still keep the utilization ratio to the minimum. So now the question might be that if you want to book a flight ticket which is expensive, suppose your limit is 2000 and the flight ticket is 1000 and the utilization ratio is 50%. So it doesn't matter as far as you avoid it before the end of the billing cycle. So suppose I make a purchase of $1,000 and I just repay it 1 or 2 days later, it won't affect your credit score. So if you make a big transaction, try to repay it the next day or the week after that, and it will be good enough for without impacting your credit score. And the sixth last one I would like to suggest you is that you can change your payment deadlines. Suppose you receive a salary on the first of every month, you can set the payment date at third or fourth of each month so that you have the required balance in your account and you can pay the credit card in full without any worries. And this will really help you miss any payment because of the lack of funds. So I suggest you change your dates according to your salary requirements. To summarize: 1. Always pay the credit card in full whenever it is due. 2. Keep the credit utilization ratio as close to 30% as possible. 3. Never miss a payment. 4th. Start your credit journey as soon as you can. 5th. Try to request your credit card companies for an increase in your credit limit. 6. The pro tip is that you can set up your deadlines according to your salary credited, and that will be a good thing. So these are the 5 tips which will help you increase your credit score drastically. I have used these tips personally. I have been using 4 credit cards since a year and my credit score is 750. You can see it here, and I have never missed a payment. I keep my utilization as low as possible. I make the payments the next day or 2 days after the transaction is made. It's just for a good practice. I like to see my credit card as low as possible, the balance is as low as possible. It's a sign of relief for me, and you never have to worry about falling into debt. I don't make any purchases that won't add a value for me. I avoid purchases like fancy shoes or clothing. It's fine sometimes, but I don't prefer it always, and I only make transactions that are really useful and which I would have anyways made with the debit card. So if you found this video useful, please like, comment and subscribe my channel, and comment down your thoughts, which credit cards you use, what's your stories with that, and anything you would like to know. Thank you again for watching my video. See you next time.